Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia. And once again we are joined with Arkane Deathbloom, who has somehow transmogrified himself into a drow, because previously he was a human. And I kind of thought that, but I thought to myself, do I really want to be a human in a fantasy-oriented mod? Probably not. We want to explore a little bit of the extra races that they have available. Anyway, you can download this mod in the description if you so desire. Otherwise, we are now here. We are now level 5, by the way. And, well, how did I get to level 5? Well, you know those bandits that we defeated in the previous episode? Well, I handed in the task in the Obsidian Spire, and they gave me 2 levels. And then I went over to one of the villages in the area, and because of the new mechanic, where if you explore a particular location, you gain experience, and you gain some money, and I was able to get to level 5 from that, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, many of you have suggested that I increase my iron flesh, and now it has come back to me that I need much more HP to be able to summon shadows, and that's exactly what we want to do. So I'm going to be increasing my strength rather considerably, and we're going to also go for some more iron flesh here. Now we have 55 HP, should be much better when it comes to our summons, and bear in mind that we also do need quite a lot of surgery, well, not surgery, but wound treatment and first aid. We need a lot of those things to keep ourselves in as high HP as possible. Surgery is not really necessary if we're going to be fielding an undead army, after all. So, let's level up our one-handed weapon proficiency right here. I'm actually going to spend a little bit in that, and then I'm going to spend a little bit in throwing weapon proficiency, because if I recall, throwing weapon proficiency actually does make a difference when it comes to casting magic spells. So hopefully that is still the case. If it's not, then, well, I've wasted a little bit of proficiency points, but it's not really a big deal. I've already recruited here, and look, the specialty of this village is its well-trained and equipped troops. Nice. Shall I go in there and take a quick look? I want to recruit a mummy veteran footman. A 100 gold. That's really cheap. I'm gonna get all of those. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have 64 out of 78. I should be able to create some more. What is it now? Some more shadows. Oh, I can't create shadows yet. Do I need 60? Do I need 60 HP, or maybe I just need to? Whoops. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Maybe I just need to move a little bit because now I have much more HP. I thought I needed 50 HP to be able to summon shadows, but maybe I'm incorrect about that. Seems like I am incorrect about it. Alright, well, 10 skeletons it is. There's a second action menu as well, which we've already taken a look at. Alright, so basically what I was just trying to do here was just running around and uncovering most of the Delthasum Empire, because I've taken a quick look at the faction relations. Look, there's actually 2 menus. I'm not entirely sure what page 1 or page 2 actually do, because they seem relatively similar to me, but let's take a look at page 1, and you'll see that the player relation for absolutely every single faction, with the exception of the drow, the orcs, the mages, and the undead, is in the negative. So everyone else hates us, of course. And, yeah, so these are the only places where we can go to participate in tournaments, to buy things, food, and so on and so forth, and that's gonna make things very difficult indeed. So, let us try our best, shall we? Let us try our best. I would like to very much earn more renown, so I might be able to join the Delthasum Empire relatively soon, and then that would hopefully give me a sort of an entry point into being a liege of our own. Because obviously you need to get right to rule. Making war and making peace gets us some pretty quick and cheap right to rule. So yeah, the only other problem that I have with only having one town to go into most of the time is the fact that companions are going to be much more difficult to find. So, yes, I'm going to go over there and just check once more and see what's going on. And I would like to actually fight a couple of things as well, because we have a much bigger army than we used to. So let's take a look here. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm wearing a robe here because I'm not entirely sure. Oh, there is one. There is a companion. That's awesome. But yes, I'm not entirely sure whether our strength now will make a difference to the armor that I was wearing previously. So I suppose we're going to find out. The streets are dark these days. Would you perhaps be looking for someone who knows the shadows? I could be. What do you mean exactly? Well, it's a long story. I used to be an assassin for House Yaztreen back in the Underdark. It's a smaller house devoured by ambition, and is led by a matriarch even more ruthless than her peers. Kidnapping children, killing her own daughter, poisoning some important figure, or slaughtering a defenseless old man in a library. You name it, I've done it. But this is not a life. The Underdark is a toxic place, and I soon left it for the surface. I don't know much in the ways of diplomacy or leading soldiers, but I know how to swiftly kill the biggest threat on the battlefield, or how to protect one. With me at your side, enemy commanders would have to think twice before attacking you. Yes, please join me. Please don't be... Whoa, okay, you're free? Wow, yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay, so hopefully she has a little bit in wound treatment. I don't know whether she does, but hopefully she does. Anyway, that's nice. There you go. That's exactly what we wanted to see right there. Now, as you can see, I don't have another task yet because it's just not been enough time. I'm actually going to equip this right here. I just want to see whether it is still going to mean that we're slow. But, you know, if it does mean that we're slow, I'm probably just going to put on the worn robe again and just deal with that. So, yeah, I'd like to actually get a bigger shield because I personally feel like we're going to get absolutely massacred by archers, and the size is a bit of an issue right here, but it should be okay. I mean, that's the point. If you're going to have a shield, then I guess it's better than having nothing, right? So, I think that's nice. Anyway, the size is not really a big deal anyway, but yeah, it's just something that I'm, you know, I like to have something that covers your entire body just so that you can be safe in the knowledge that you're not going to get headshot randomly. It's happened many, many times before, after all. Alright, so let's just head onward. And there is another lord. Maybe we should do a task for one of the vassals. That might improve our relation a little bit more with the Delthusum Empire. Aha! Here we go. He murdered one of my men. Yes, I will hunt him down and execute the law. Okay, so that is Saren. Wait a minute. Where do I actually... Fyhrr Lyn. Okay, this is... Okay, so now, here's the main issue I have with doing these kinds of tasks. Usually, when you do these kinds of tasks, it will result in the village losing relation with you. And I need to be very, very careful with that, because playing as a Necromancer, as it stated in the previous episode, this is one of the hardest starts ever. I mean, they seem to have shall we say, remastered it a little bit. So when you start as a Necromancer, you're going to have difficulties finding some friends. And so, yes, I actually do need to wait until daytime to go in here, but yes, you have difficulties finding friends, and that's a bit of an issue, you know, that's a bit of an issue, because if we're only kind of peaceful/neutral with the Delthusum Empire and the Orcs and the Drow as well, ooh, look at that. We should probably fight those guys, shouldn't we? But yes, if we are only peaceful or neutral with those guys, then we really don't have many options as to where to go until we have conquered them. And that is what I am going to attempt to do. We're going to try and conquer them as quickly as possible. So yes, now I can move much faster. So that is obviously a strength issue rather than, you know, it just being the way that the armor works or whatever, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to look forward to getting 60 HP, because apparently I need 60 HP to be able to create shadows. That's crazy. Wow. That's actually quite a lot, but shadows are very, very good in comparison to the base necromancy units, so I'm pretty happy to do it. Anyway, let's do this. Let's try and kill them. Now, I don't know whether... can you take these guys prisoner? I don't think so somehow. I seem to remember that you can't. No. See, as you can see there, I'm actually hitting him with a blunt weapon, and he was still killed. So you are unable to take undead units prisoner, as is the case from the previous version as well. Alright, let's try and do some damage. Come on. Yeah, there we go. That's what you get. There we go. Nice. That's actually some really nice damage from this hammer right here. I mean, you would think that it would do a lot of damage. Oh, yes. They also have dodge, by the way. Dodge is also a mechanic that has returned, and is very familiar to those of us that have played Blood and Steel, for example. And obviously Phantasy Calradia as well. But anyway, That is pretty cool. I'm actually thinking that it might be a cool idea as well to actually play some different class as well, because I'd like to see what the starts are all about. I'm probably going to do a little bit of that off screen, just so I can find the most interesting one, apart from the Necromancer, obviously, because the Necromancer is, in my opinion, one of the more unique choices. I don't really want to play the standard warrior archetype. I'd like to play something a little bit different, so something either that uses magic, or maybe uses a bow, or maybe even uses a two-handed weapon. That would be pretty fun. So a barbarian is something that I'm quite interested in, but that also then brings to mind, how are we going to play a barbarian if every single person, because it is lower in the list than the Necromancer, so I can assume that maybe every single person in Calradia will be aggressive towards the barbarian. In other words, we're probably going to have to recruit bandits or something like that, and maybe get our money literally just from raiding. Of course, I have no idea about the gameplay mechanics, so don't quote me on that. I haven't started up a game in the barbarian class. So yes. Anyway, there's 4 renown, 5 morale. We lost a bunch, but that's really not a big deal at all. Thank you. Alright, so can I actually update? Yes, there we go. Okay, so now that I have a companion, we can actually update her gear and get her some good stuff. So she's using some drow leather armor already, and some boots. So personally, I think she's absolutely fine, but let's just take a quick look at what she could currently get. She could get these, which I think are probably better. Seems like the shields in Phantasy Calradia are pretty small on the whole, so that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe we'll find something in the Nord area or something like that, but yeah, I don't think I really want to take anything else here. So I'm going to update her equipment just a little bit. So we're going to give her throwing weapons. She is a throwing weapon person, and she is also... what's that? Oh, damage preference. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. That's impressive. Okay, so what is she using right now? Throwing knives. Huh. I actually don't know what they are. Are they cutting? I think they're cutting damage, or piercing. They might be cutting or piercing, so I guess we'll just make them pierce damage. Or maybe, yeah, just make them pierce damage. I think that's pretty good. And now, she does actually have a drow dagger, which is really good for her, because she is a stealth character. And I think I saw a comment actually on the previous video that stated, what does stealth do? Well, stealth is literally just a way of saying that people do extra damage from behind. So in other words, they're using backstab, you know, kind of mechanics. And this is a prime example. She is a prime example of this. So let's get her a shield. Let's get her a shield, and maybe we'll get her some extra throwing weapons. And I think the damage preference can be none. I don't really mind as long as it's a better weapon than what she's currently using in terms of the thrown weapon. And let's upgrade her armor and upgrade her horse as well. I don't know whether she has any riding skill, but that should be fine in my opinion. So let's do that. Let's let our people decide. And she's equipped a plain cavalry shield, ragged battle-worn mail, and that's it. Okay. So that's pretty good, I guess. I don't know whether she's taken anything else, but yeah, obviously we didn't want to give her a new weapon, you know, an actual one-handed weapon, because she's using that dagger, and stealth only works with smaller weapons as far as I can remember, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, let's level up all of those guys. They're going to be priests. I'm going to be making them into mummy priests and high priests and so on and so forth, so yeah, that's hopefully going to work out quite nicely. But yeah, if we take a look here, you can see that she has 11 agility, and she has 3 in stealth. Causes extra damage with light, short weapons when hitting enemies from behind, so that's what stealth does. And we're probably going to have to get her a little bit more in strength and agility. Basically, what I'm going to do with her is I'm just going to level up her combat skills, I think. So focus on shield, athletics, weapon master, stealth, maybe even unarmed combat. I'd love to find someone that's really good at unarmed combat. I think that could be really fun. Anyway, there you go. Not too bad. That was a pretty decent... Ooh! That was a pretty decent fight, and we also raised 5 shadows from the remains of your enemies. Ah, that's awesome. That is really, really cool. Okay, so let's go into the village, finally, and hopefully be able to track down this guy that we have to kill. I mean, did I say kill? I meant arrest for justice. Yes. Alright, so where is he? This is obviously going to be... Is this the village elder? Yeah, that is the village elder. So he must be a... Wow, okay, this is a pretty large village. And I'm not entirely sure where the guy is. It's been a while since I've played Phantasy Calradia, obviously. At this point, at the very least, because I revisited the Faith Edition a couple of months ago. So, yeah, that was really fun. And, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find this guy. Oh, well, never mind. I guess I'm just going to cut away because it's going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Ah, it seems we have found him, the nervous man. Be prepared to be vanquished, nervous man. Yes. Alright, so what are you looking at? Why are you staring at me? How dare you? Let's do this. Drop your sword if you're innocent. I come to execute the law, and so on and so forth. I have to wait for him to draw his sword, apparently, because it's dishonorable to attack him before that. Wouldn't it be amusing if he actually kills me now? Yes, look at his iron flesh. His iron flesh is soaking so much damage. That's another mechanic that is relatively unique to Phantasy Calradia. And there you go. Unfortunately, the as I said, the village relation does go down. But maybe what we can do is we might be able to speak to the village elder and maybe get a couple of tasks. Or at the very least, at least get one. So let's go over there and do that. And did we just level to level 6, by the way? That could be pretty good, because we're going to gain another 3 HP, which is going to make it 58. And then hopefully, the next level after that, we should be able to summon some shadows. Or are we able to get it? Maybe we are, maybe we're not, I don't know. Actually, let's take a look. How many animals do you... No! Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Let's try and do this. 5 heads of cattle. Alright. 5 heads of cattle. This is probably not gonna work out too well, but we're gonna try, nevertheless. Alright, so let's level up that, and yeah, never mind. Okay, so I thought to myself, I'm gonna be able to level up Iron Flesh, but then I remembered, no, I just maxed it out. So I'm gonna have to spec into something else. And what are we gonna be specking into? Well, I suppose wound treatment would be kind of good, but we are going to come across a medic sooner or later. So I don't know whether it's necessary right now, but I kind of want to do it, just because. It's a big mistake to do that, so I'm just going to go for Power Strike instead. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Maybe I should have done Weapon Master. Oh well, never mind. It's done. It's done. Nothing else to do. Alright, so... let us make our way, and we're gonna try and find some cattle. Yes, how wonderful. Alright, so I also have to go back to Lord Ranval. Is that him? Nope. Okay, so how do I actually do this now? Because I know that you can't... What? Did I just buy food automatically? Oh yes, I did. That was kind of a mistake, but I don't even know how much money I lost. Oh well, never mind. I suppose it's not a big deal. 470. I lost 470 according to this, because usually villagers don't have any money. So that's good to know at least. Okay, so at least we can sell all of this right here. That's not too bad. Okay, so let's have a look. 353, and we can sell the Rusty Army Sword as well. And there's some wood here and things like that, but obviously we need to raid to get cattle. So let's go to the Obsidian Spire. Maybe we'll come across the fellow that we need to hand in the quest to, so that would be kind of nice. I'd also like to speak to Lich King Meliron. Look at him. Look at his armor. It's absolutely insane. It is really, really awesome. Okay, so he's going to laugh at me now. Never mind. Okay. Do you have any tasks? We've heard reports that a group of skeleton warriors have established a hideout in this area and have been attacking travelers. If you could find their lair and destroy it, we would be very grateful. Yes, I'm going to do this, certainly. Ooh, that's going to be really, really lucrative. Okay, so where is it? It's in this area somewhere. I have no idea where, though. Oh dear. That might be a bit of an issue. Oh well. Never mind. We'll try our best. Okay, so I'm going to sell the rest of this stuff because we can now move reasonably fast with it. Going to sell the drow armor as well. Not really any necessity to keep it around. And there we go. Alright. So, I guess I should look around a little bit, shouldn't I? Well, I actually thought to myself, just a minute after I cut away, I just thought, alright, so where is this going to be? So, I've already been over here previously in the episode. This is where we roundabout started, and then I already went up here. So I can assume that it's probably going to be maybe over here somewhere. I mean, I know that the old tomb is over there, but that's obviously not where we need to go because it's not highlighted in blue. So let's see if we can... Ah, what's that? Whoa, there's a bunch of skeletons in this area. Okay, this must be it, but I can't see it, so I assume it's hidden somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's very, very short range in terms of its vision. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so I have 96%. I'm just going to go and check again that I can't... No, I can't create any shadows. Okay. It must be 60, right? Yeah, it must be 60. Okay, so let's... Oh my, this is maybe a mistake, but it seems like they don't bring a friend. Wow, that's fantastic. All right, so we don't need to worry about that then. They do not bring a friend. They do not gang up on you in multitudes of massive amounts of numbers, so that's great. It's really good, and hopefully we'll be able to deal with these guys. I mean, there's only 30 of them, so we should be fine, right? I mean, we've dealt with this kind of number before, but you never know. Sometimes they have more, you know, professional, you know, professional sounding skeleton warriors. Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say, but no. I mean, higher level, more high tier units. Like these guys on the horses, they're actually pretty good, you know? They're not too bad. They're obviously the lowest tier and pretty awful in comparison to extremely good units, but for the most part, they're pretty difficult for me to kill, as you've seen. I am only able to deal about 8, maybe 16 maximum damage to them, so it is pretty impressive that we're able to defeat them so easily, but there you go. I guess it's just because of the rest of my units, to be honest. I'm going to be really, really happy, though, once we're able to summon shadows, and also once we become a vassal, and hopefully once I get a couple of spells as well. I mean, what I do need to do is get 12,000 money, so dinars, orums, whatever it may be, and then we need to very quickly go and buy a weavery and dye works. Of course, I could also spend that money investing into the gnomish bank, which might make sense. You know, might make sense to do that, but I think at the moment the gnomish bank doesn't particularly make sense because we really just need to pay our wages at the moment, and I think that would probably make the most sense to purchase weavery and dye works. So that's what we're going to do first, and then bear in mind that because we have such a low relation, technically, with every single faction with the exception of those 4 or 5 or whatever, we're only able to get enterprises in, I think, 4 towns? Yeah, 4 towns or 5 towns or something like that, so it's going to be really close to the wire whether we are able to afford a really, really big army. So, yeah, that's a bit interesting. Alright, so that is... whoa, Bardiche. I absolutely love Bardiches, by the way, so I might be taking this for myself. Is that a better shield? It's got less HP. Nah, I don't think it's a better shield, actually. Alright, well, let's just let her select whatever she wants. Oh, she did take some gloves. Oh, okay, maybe I missed those gloves. Oh, well, never mind. It's not really a big deal to me. Gloves usually only give a couple of points of protection anyway, and I think she probably needs them more. Okay, so, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with these as well. And 3 zombies from the reigns of our enemies. Nice. Okay, so let's level up Shadow Warriors and some more Lesser Priests and things like that. And we're going to have to do battle with the rest of these groups and then head into the Cursed Cemetery. So I think we're going to leave that until the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.